Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're just chilling here in Gita and oh wait, what was that? Do you see those over there? Those are cool looking ships over there. I've not seen those before. Let's take a picture of that. Let's take a picture of those guys right there. That's interesting looking spinny civilian ships. I've not seen those before. I mean, I have seen little ships in Gita, but I've not seen these particular ones. They look pretty cool. They remind me a bit of Marshalls in their shape. What I was thinking of doing right now is just doing a little bit of my classical T4 Firestorm farming. Just thinking of things I'm going to be doing. One of the things I wanted to get back into was doing the T6 Gammas. I've actually not been doing the T6 Gammas for a really long time. A bit due to just being overall quite stressful, but I've not really had much need to because I've not had any particularly big goals in terms of ISK making recently. But I thought of doing it anyway just to keep my skills trained, polished, and ready to do Abyss at a moment's notice. But also just because I don't think I've checked out my T6 Gamma Gila after the Surgical Strike reversion, because there was a reversion at one point that buffed the like there was a nerf at one point that nerfed the resistive modules, but then they made a reversion, so they slightly upped the resist again, and that makes so that our T4 Firestorm hybrid Gila right here is pretty strong. But let me just check the implants are right. Asclepias, Nirvanas, okay. The chip we've got right here is quite a bit more powerful than it was a year ago. But that's also going to make our T6 Gamma Gila also a lot more powerful, and both in terms of the repping power, because we get more, we get a lot more total resists, so it effectively makes the repping power better, but also a buffer. Both are good to have in the Abyss. And Gammas is not too big of an issue with the buffer because you're naturally going to have a really good buffer anyway because of the environmental effect. I just realized here we're lacking a hammerhead, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we're lacking a hammerhead. Shoot here, shoot here. I'm just thinking what could be some good T4 Firestorm fits apart from this Gila, because I really love cheap. I've mentioned this so many times before. I love cheap T4 ships, especially the T4 Dark and T4 Firestorm, because the filament prices are so cheap. So it's really a great risk-making activity if you're able to run them consistently. The only thing is I have a hard time finding some fits for T4 Firestorm. One is a Vagabond. A Vagabond actually I've tested out and I've been quite successful with it. It's very cheap, but it has been actually working out quite good. So I might show that to you guys. There might be some armor-based ones. I feel like it would be the smartest thing would be to use an armor-based ship here, because you would want to have good armor tanking ships here, since your armor HP is being buffed a lot in the Firestorm site. So that's why I'm thinking maybe Ishtar, but armor Ishtars are not usually that great. The thing is, the Ishtar has not so good resist in its armor. It's got one of the worst resist types, being high, the kinetic one. It's very useless in the Abyss to have a good kinetic resist. So we've got low explosive. Triglavian is going to hit like actual trucks. 8-wheelers just going to run over us. That's how it's going to feel to use the armor Ishtar. And I've used it before and it was quite tough. I think it's a pretty tough feat to accomplish. The Zealot could be an option as well. It's an armor-based ship. Could be an option. The issue is the tank. The capacity is quite hard to get it to be good in a non-electrical site, so we would have a bit of cap issues. But I think if you go with a single rep style, it might be able to get through. Thinking, what are some other T2 armor-based cruisers or faction cruisers? Vigilant, it could be armor-based, but it's really bad in the Abyss in general. Deimos is possible as well. I've heard people using a Deimos, the armor repping ship. Maybe. The thing is, it's got very short range with the blaster base, so it's not particularly good at doing Abyss, because you don't want to, generally speaking, you don't want to brawl in the Abyss. It's really bad in certain waves, like mass neuting waves, going to nuke you out, or if you're going for the rogue drone battle cruisers, just going to obliterate you with their extremely high DPS at close range. So Deimos, Ishtar, Zealot, Sacrilege is also possible, but you have to sort of bling it a bit. Because it's hard with the slot layout to get good thermal resist, because it's naturally got very low thermal resist. But Sacrilege could be possible if you bling. Let me think any other ones. No, I can't really think of any other ones apart from... Okay, there's then the Vagabond as well, I mentioned before. It would be fun to test those out, actually. We can use our shield boosting, because we've got a hybrid fit. Just get as many reps out of our shield booster as possible. Instead of just waiting until the shields are low, we just rep it up, because our total HP per second is very low. So usually we're not going to out rep the incoming DPS. It's just good to get as much effective buff out of this shield booster as possible, because you're getting as many reps as possible as you can get out of it. Grab the loot. Any lucky drops? No lucky drops. Unfortunately, pretty standard drops. Below average drops, I would say. Well, actually, this is pretty average, because it's not uncommon to get this kind of loot in the T4. But often if you get filaments, it can add up to like 30-40 million, even if they're somewhat okay filaments. And if you get lucky drops, you can get up to 100 million ISK, or even more if you're very lucky. This is on the low side, the typical low side of T4 Firestorms. I'm doing this site pretty quick, actually. Like, look at the site completion under like 9 minutes. Really quick we are. And we can check out some of these Sacrilege, because I've made some Sacrilege for T4 Firestorm. I had something with a pulse laser at one point. Just the problem with these low slots, we've only got 5 low slots, so we can either have like 1 damage module or 2 modules or 3 modules of tank, and 3 modules of tank is quite limiting. If you got dual reps, then you can only have 1 resist module really, and you would want to have at least 2 resist modules. Let's see now, maybe maybe remove this one right here. I put a thermal sheet, thermal armor hardener. Centers X-type, C, B, A Corpus A-type maybe. And you got Corpus C-types over here. Because you need some thermal resistance in the Firestorm, you need that. Very important. I don't know, maybe we could just go with the dual webs. If we were to go with something like this. And you go with the Inferno Rage, for example. But the DPS is quite low, you see that DPS is on the very low side. We've got a thermal armor reinforced right here. For Sacrilege, maybe. Point is, I want to find T4 Firestorms, because see, raiding Firestorm, oh, these filaments are just so cheap. You know what, let's just buy some filaments, because I just feel like buying filaments. I'm just going to buy some. You know, I like to do this from time to time. Just buy some T4 Firestorm filaments. It's quite fun. Do you guys not think it's just fun to just buy some filaments? Buy some filaments, buy some filaments. I need to buy some T4 Firestorm filaments. 501 is alright. We just buy 161. Buy 20. We can do that as well. You can buy 148, 173, 21. And just keep buying, keep buying. I like buying my T4 Firestorms. They are very good filaments. We run a lot of these T4 Firestorms. So it's just when they've got low prices. I consider low price to be anything under 300k. So I just like to buy them whenever they're at that price. Because these are just awesome filaments to run. Hardly worth, or they're valued at so little. But you can get so much out of them if you're able to run them decently. It's always nice to just buy a bunch of these. 231. 185. There's a bunch of filaments on the market. That's nice to see. Nice to see, nice to see. 413. I mean, why not? 105. Why not? 109. Well, why not? I'll buy a bunch of these filaments right here. Almost taken out everything that's below 300k. Okay. There we go. Good. Let's see how many Raging Firestorms 2,500. That's a good amount of filaments. We'll have plenty to run. Never run out. If you think about it, there's a lot of people who've been running Abyss sites. Like that's how many filaments we got. So that must have been those thousands and thousands of Abyss sites have been run to accumulate that amount of filaments. Let's just build this entropic radiation sink right here. I've got a passive blueprint as well right here, just to get all these blueprints out of the way. So then I've got a raging firestorm, so I can put in my filaments box over here. There's a raging dark as well. I can put in the filaments box. So that's some chill T4 Firestorm running in my hybrid Gila, an activity, as many of you are probably acquainted with, that I do a lot just to relax, earn some ISK, and talk about different things I do in EVE Online. Planned as well, finding more T4 Firestorm fits, but also to do some T6 Gamma stuff, because I haven't done it in a while. And while I'm at T6 Gamma, I may as well do also Triglavian hunting in the Golem, because my high-grade crystals, which I use for T6 Gamma, are very useful when used in conjunction with a Golem in Triglavian hunting. So that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.